Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your friendly local neighborhood Mason back here again, and I'm here with something different. Now, none of you would know, but back last Friday, me and Z met up at the Carlisle Truck Show, and that was the first time we got to meet in person, and that was also the first time that Z got to see my truck. Now, what you guys may not know about my truck, it's a 95 Ford F-150 5-liter V8 automatic two-wheel drive, regular cab, long box, red and white, two-tone. I've owned this truck for almost 3 years now, and it is my pride and joy. Well, Z got back home and decided to jump into automation and ruin my truck. I don't know how, but the thumbnail says 75 horsepower written on the side of my truck, which I do not appreciate. So we're going to do what he asked me to do and react to this video, because this is probably the last time you'll be seeing Xenon with normal teeth. Let's go.
To come up with another talent for this game, but I think I've come up with one designed specifically to annoy my friend Mason.
Yeah. Yeah, you
I'm
did.
going to attempt to remake his pickup truck. It's a 1995 Ford F-150
Oh, he actually said it.
with the 5-liter V8, but with less than 100 horsepower. And then I'm gonna hear the firestorm of yelling and cussing that's gonna follow.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Is what I hope.
I haven't even I haven't even gotten very far, and I'm already pretty sure I'm
Alright,
gonna be
well,
pissed at him for this. Cause I'm sure he's gonna shit talk. I'm sure of it.
there's been a kerfuffle. It's a huge balloon.
Oh, that sounds like a you problem, isn't it, Z?
And let's see.
None of those look like my truck.
Oh, looks like a few more of my models.
Oh, that one actually does kind of look like my truck. That one really looks like my truck. Huh. Oh, I actually didn't know automation had all the. He said there were a couple mods in this. Oh, there we go. That's basically my truck. It says 78, but that's not 78. That's like an 80s. But then again,
Any good, like, mid 90s models?
no, because they're not modeled right. They're all freaking based off of like Dodges or some shit. Because they're all rounded.
Model your own design.
Wow, your game runs slow, Z. Sorry, guys, I got a bit of a runny nose, so I might be sniffling a little bit through this.
Yeah, there's not really much to choose from.
I mean, where is it?
Where'd it go?
That one's okay. That one right there, basically it. That's basically my truck with a step side. That's like a Chevy model. That's a Ford model. It's right there, Z. God damn it.
Dude, where'd it go?
Up.
You
I'm
don't model your...
I'm helping ruin your truck. I'm helping you ruin my truck, but up.
Completely lost the one I was gonna use.
Oh my fucking god. Right there. Oh my god. I'm just I'm just getting angry by the fact that you can't
Yeah, so that's what I said there earlier.
it was there earlier. You were just not looking in the right place, you fucking idiot.
I'm gonna use this. I think this is probably the closest I'm gonna get. Do I
It
really?
says 78.
85 one.
Right there. Right there. Oh my god.
Find out which one is better.
See, I'm sorry. It's right there. Fucking Christ.
Yeah, I think this is the closest I'm gonna get.
God damn.
Um,
I'm sorry, Z, but you're triggering me just
once again, I
doing
have to
this.
actually look into this stuff. I've got the engine stuff up.
was he trying to look into?
but not the actual body stuff.
Steel. My truck's a steel body. It's
So
1995. It's a steel body. It's steel.
let's just go with cheap.
Chassis style. I believe ladder chassis is what I have. Chassis material is steel.
I am gonna hear some from this. I'll tell you what.
Oh god, what did he say? Did he just say because he's going cheap? Because the funny thing is he's actually building my truck basically the way it should be built. That's the ironic thing right now.
Let's just go with cheap. I think cheap sounds like a good idea. I am gonna hear some from this. I'll tell you what.
Double. Okay, hold on. Pause right here. Pause right here. Because I am going to point this out, because surprisingly, he does actually build my truck somewhat right. My truck's a steel body. 95 steel body. That's all it's got. It's not any of this aluminum bullshit that's around nowadays. It can actually take a hit. I've crashed that truck into a guardrail at 35, and all it did was scratch the paint. I'm not even joking. Chassis type. I think ladder is wrong. I don't know chassis very well, but mine's the classic tube chassis. They're not really tube because that's drag racing, but two bars running straight and then connected in the middle. That actually, yeah, that's probably ladder, dumbass, because that's what it looks like. I'm rebuilding a 96 F250 and I've got it torn down to just the frame and the engine. There's not even wheels on the truck anymore. No cab, no body, no nothing. And so yeah, chassis type probably is ladder. Chassis material is steel. No two ways about it. That truck is just all steel. Engine placement, transverse. You son of a bitch. You can't mount a V8 transversely. Oh god. Yep, that's pissed me off already. I mean, I guess if you're a mid-engine car, you can mount a V8 transversely, but this is a pickup truck. This is a 95 pickup truck made for doing trail running and farm work and whatnot. It doesn't have a transverse-mounted V8. Oh my god. Front suspension on my truck actually is double wishbone. Interesting fact, actually. Christ, my nose is runny. I'm really sorry about that, guys. The only model of F-Series truck that had a solid axle from the factory in that year was the F350. The F150 and F250, even if it had four-wheel drive, was double wishbone in the front. There was no solid axle. And the four-wheel drive would have leaf spring in the front instead of coil, but the two-wheel drive would have coil. And then the solid axle would have leaf as well. So, just interesting little fact about that. And then that's wrong. It shouldn't be solid axle coil. It should be solid axle leaf, but I think he was just trying to blow through this. And he turned the quality all the way down, which doesn't make me happy. So, you got 1, 2, 3, 3.4 points going for you, Z. But 5 going against you, because I'm counting that quality as an extra 3. Because I fucking can. Let's play.
I am going to hear some.
Is it? I believe.
My phone actually tells me. In fact, it tells me what the engine is.
Yeah, it's a cast iron block because that's all they were made of.
Let's see.
I'm actually impressed. I'm actually impressed. He's literally looking up the information for my truck to make sure that the engine that he's about to ruin fits correctly and is the correct size.
Stroke is
302 V8, 5 liter. It's a good truck. Push rod. Push rod. It's not overhead. Not overhead cam. It's push rod. Oh, I don't have an overhead cam. It's too old. It's push rod.
Problem that I had when I was trying to make my car.
It's a pickup that's from '95. It has push rod. This isn't a freaking Honda Civic that has dual overhead cam. It's push rod. Up. Push rod. Push rod.
No.
Push rod. Thank you. You clicked it because you were so inept that you didn't know, but you clicked the right one. Good job. I don't know why he's laughing. My entire block is cast iron. Very heavy. Doesn't actually make that much horsepower. It only made 195 from the factory new. Which,
I will say, this didn't used to appear while I was searching.
crankshaft, that'd be forged steel, I think. No, that would be cast. Everything would be cast.
Oh, I am not going to get against this.
No, you're not.
Varies by model year and application.
Probably about right. Fuck you! I saw that. I saw that. Fuel injection, not carbureted. Get it right, Z. I showed you this. It's injected. I showed you this. Good boy. It's actually single port EFI. It's actually single port EFI. Or wait. Yeah, no, that's right. Single port per cylinder. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Per cylinder. That's correct. It's single port EFI per cylinder, if I remember correctly. Not multi-port, single. There you go. Intake, standard, yeah. Well, all of those are wrong. I actually run 89. What did he say? RPM rev limiter sits at about 4,500 RPMs. The actual rev range is up to 5,000. Fuck you! I saw that. Long tube header. Long tube header.
Alright. Don't know.
I-
I'm not going to take that from him. He's very proud of his exhaust system.
You say you're not going to take that from me, but you put freaking cast iron exhaust manifolds on there when I have specific long tube headers. I showed you this. Now, then again, I know that you don't know that much about mechanics, but come on, man, give me something. I'll give him this. He at least let me keep my dual exhaust. I don't know what the point score is anymore because I fucking gave up on that when he kept knocking my quality down. But you're in the red. You're very much in the red. Exhaust diameter 2.5 inches. Get it right. Oh, I wish I had a fucking face cam right now. Because I would kick your... Because you fucked it up.
I mean, I succeeded.
17. 7 motherfucking teen. He destroyed my truck. I really wish there was some quick way to get down to Virginia that didn't cost very much money because I want to knock the shit out of him right now. I really do. Play!
17 horsepower. It needs to run properly and make less than 100 horsepower. That's the challenge.
Knocking isn't going to be
Runs
fixed
really,
by the
really
cam profile. Knocking's not going to
oh,
really
runs really rich fuel it is, but it also
completely kills it.
doesn't run. Oh,
That shouldn't. That's not how knocking works, though. That'd be a that would be a lubrication issue, right? Yeah, I'm gonna try to figure this out for a second because I'm about to go to college for being a heavy diesel mechanic, but the first year hit, you have to go through automotive, and I do all my own maintenance on my truck. So I'm trying to think. Knocking is usually caused by rod knock of the piston rod. That's usually what it is. It's sometimes valve lifters. It's sometimes rocker arms too. I don't know why I said valve lifters because I have rocker arm and push rod. But it's usually either piston rod or rocker arm. Now, rocker arm usually occurs when there's not enough oil in the valve cover, which is normally caused by a blown gasket. And rod knock can be caused by a number of different things. But you don't fix knocking by changing your fuel mixture. As far as I know, maybe it's maybe it's a different form of knocking, a knocking that I haven't heard of. But the two knockings that I know of, rod knock and rocker knock, those are signs of your engine being broken. And you don't fix those by going, oh, I'm just going to slightly adjust the fuel mixture on my EFI unit and put fucking 91 in it. That's not how it works, people. God.
mean.
Yes, you are. I'm going to kick your ass for it.
No, it's got to run really rich. I'm being mean.
Yeah, you are.
How much torque is it supposed to make? Much more than that.
It's supposed to make, if I remember correctly, the engine that is in my truck currently, when hooked to an automatic transmission, because hooked to a standard makes a little bit of a difference, it's supposed to make 195 horsepower from factory and 225 foot-pounds of torque. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, because it really isn't when you think about it when it's a 5-liter V8. You would really expect it to be a lot more. But emission regulations and this, that, the other. I really wish I had an older 5-liter because those had a lot more power in them. Luckily, I'm switching that engine out for the 351 Windsor V8 that's sitting in my other truck that's currently being built. That engine from factory, and I just voice cracked a little, my bad. If I remember correctly, was supposed to make 215 horsepower from the factory and 275 foot-pounds of torque, and I don't have to worry about an automatic transmission robbing the horsepower from me anymore because I have a 5-speed stick shift. Any way you slice it, though, Xenon has completely destroyed my truck's engine. And I don't appreciate that. Because my truck is my pride and joy. Oh, I want to slap this motherfucker silly.
Much more than that. That is definitely for sure.
Yeah, no shit.
Uh, yeah, sounds good to me. What does it sound like?
It sounds terrible at low RPM and actually somewhat sounds like my truck at high RPM, but it's got such. That sounds so
I mean, it's
terrible.
definitely not the.
It sounds so terrible at low RPM because it's got such a bad cam profile and probably a bad intake setup. I wasn't really paying attention. I just noticed that it was completely destroying my truck. And I think he went and changed the exhaust diameter back to 8 inches. I don't think he put it back down to half an inch. But with that much of a pipe on it, there would be no back pressure to pull the exhaust gases out of the block, which is required, or they just kind of accumulate. They don't really get pulled out. They get pushed out by the pistons moving, but they're not pulled through the exhaust system. So that'd be a problem at higher RPMs because that would choke the engine out. Or he put it back down to half an inch, which causes the same problem because There's just so much exhaust gas to be moved out of such a large engine that it would just get backed up in the pipe. Either way, he fucked up my engine's exhaust. It should be a 2.5-inch true dual straight pipe stemming from full length long tube hooker headers. I know my truck by heart, people, and it's pissing me off that he's ruining it.
Worst sound. Right, on to the actual. This is gonna be fun. I'm probably gonna end up time lapsing this again because I mean it's just trying to frickin' make this stuff is not going to go particularly well. Pull up a picture of his truck.
He actually did take a couple of pictures of my truck while we were down. Okay, that's way too much angle on the hood. That's better. Yeah, no, alright, I'll give him that. That red's just about right. Maybe a little too bright. I don't think the hood has that much angle on it. Maybe it does. No, not really, though. Actually, let me go. I have the plaque from Carlisle sitting right next to me. Yeah, I guess it does. But the paint color comes down a little further off the door. So I guess that's what's screwing me up. I'll give him this. He's doing a pretty good job of building my truck. He's even got the twin tanks on there, which I'm actually quite impressed that this game models. Because that's not a very common feature. Like, most people don't understand why I have twin tanks. Now, the tailgate is probably going to be the hardest job for him, because that thing is... Oh, he might just leave it the way it is. Yep. Yeah, because the grill at the front's a little too high. I'll give him this. He did an okay job. That's the first compliment you're getting. Well, second compliment, because I said that you were actually looking up the... Boy! No. 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 No, I forgot that you warned me that you did that fucking last night. That doesn't make it any fucking better, Zeke. Oh, damn. I understand some people might watch this and not understand why I'm getting so pissed off about a virtual rendition of my truck that's clearly done by my buddy who pissed me off. You don't understand. I've been around cars since I was able to walk. My dad's been a mechanic since before I was born. Cars run in my blood. I vividly have memories of crushing my hand with a brake caliper while I was sitting out in the driveway helping him do the brake job on my mom's boss's van. That's a memory that's stuck in my head, mostly because it felt like I broke my hand. I'm lucky I didn't. But that's been my life growing up. That was what I lived. I lived and breathed mechanics. I've torn down a V10 from a Ford F350 and a Ford Excursion because my dad's friend blew a hole in his block. I tore that thing down to bare cylinder heads with barely any help from my father except telling me which bolts had to come out first because I was small enough to sit on top of the engine block while the hood was still on the car so that we could take that engine out and replace it. And then I bought this truck. I didn't like this truck when I first bought it because it was a two-wheel drive automatic. And for your information, just so you don't get confused because he made a fucking front-wheel drive on me, it's a real drive only truck. Thank you very much. I bought that truck when I was about 15. I was 15 and a half. I worked the entire summer. Made $647. That exact amount. That is how big this memory is for me because I remember exactly how much that paycheck came up to be. I go home that night, just haven't gotten my paycheck. I didn't even have my paycheck for a day. My uncle comes over that night. He says that he's getting rid of his pickup truck. He's going to scrap it. He looks over at me and goes, I'll tell you what, I'll give it to you for 600 with the cap on the back. It used to have an aluminum bed cap. I sold that for 200 bucks eventually. I loved that truck. So I told him, fuck you, yes, you're giving it to me. That truck sat at my dad's for 2 years. 2 years because I was 15 and I couldn't drive it. It sat at my dad's house for 2 years. At first, I was just going to fix it enough so that it ran decent. And then I was going to sell it because I wanted a stick shift 4x4. But then I put the time in. I've invested over a year of my life into that truck, putting all the time together. I have rebuilt the entire top end of that engine from bare cylinder heads, all by myself. I have more scars on my hands and arms from that truck than any other mechanic job. That truck is part of my life. And I'm not okay with seeing it get disgraced, even by a friend that I know he's screwing with me over. Enough of that tangent. Play.
Gonna hear all about it.
Oh, yes, you are. Why? Why? Why would you make it a sequential? Why? What? Top speed 83? Really? Top speed 83. My truck can do over 100, thank you very much. It does have an open differential, though. Can't get past that. Gave me my off-road tires in a front-wheel drive pickup. What'd he say?
Aren't really proper, like heavy-duty off-road tires.
The tires on the truck are 31-10-5 R15s. Dick Kepek's Extreme Country mud and snow tires. Because I like to have fun in the mud, but I live in New York, and I get 7 inches of snow off of one storm. The rims are the original factory aluminum rims. I got lucky and got the XLT package of the truck, which meant I had the aluminum rims instead of the steel rims, because steel rims are ugly as fuck. But I digress. I'm gonna break the spacebar on my keyboard because of this stupid shit. No! The 15s! I'm literally going to kill him. Okay. Thank you. At least he gave me the fucking 15-inch rims. Technically, they're aluminum. I saw that quality bar. Front brakes are disc. They're not drum. They're disc. I know I like to say that. I know I like to set my braking sensitivity. He said it. I knew it. I knew he'd fucking say it. I knew he'd Yeah, seriously. You can't really off-road with a 75 horsepower V8 front wheel drive pickup truck, you piece of shit. God. I really don't know why I'm letting myself get so angry about this, but I can't help it. I am sorry. Actually, no, I'm not, because I fucking hate him right now. Zach? It is a bench seat. He at least remembered that. My truck has power steering, motherfucker. It has no traction aids because it's a 95. Who the fuck had traction aids back in 1995? But it has power steering. It's very basic power steering, but it works really well. Don't ask me why. And actually, my steering wheel and my steering column bearing is broken, but that's beside the point. I got power steering, motherfucker. You got the traction aids right, but I got power steering. Fuck you, Z.
I mean, I'm just starting a fight at the point.
Yes, you are. All right. I couldn't even tell you the springs dampeners and whatnot. I don't know that. I don't know that shit. I don't even think I have dampeners on my truck. Maybe I do. I don't fucking know. I don't tune things very much. No. You did not just complete. Yeah, you are. You are starting a fight.
Actually, if I do that, can I put bigger tires on it? That's the thing I actually kind of want to do.
Oh, why? So that's harder for my fucking engine that has 75 horsepower to turn? Piece of shit.
Well, it wouldn't be Bronco if it didn't roll all the time, would it? Now, let's see, one, if Beam's gonna cooperate, and two, how this truck drives.
Probably gonna drive like a pile of shit. I don't think you could even. That's about 25. Beam is broken.
I don't know how to switch the gears.
But that's about 25 miles an hour in first gear. My truck can do 45 miles an hour in first gear.
Speed sequential. I don't know how that translates to this game. Okay, so in case it isn't obvious, the answer was no. Beam did not cooperate, and yeah, it's not motioning good. So I'm gonna pretty much end the video with this frame, or maybe the next one. Basically, the truck can do about 30 in third gear. I couldn't get it any higher than that. And
Really? I wonder why.
wondering cannot move at all now. I used to be able to do about 20 miles an hour. Now I can't even get it to move. So I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, sorry I couldn't show these properly.
I have such a dirty look on my fucking face right now. He said he was starting a fight. He wasn't fucking lying. Because I'm about ready to go over there and kick his fucking ass. And I live 8 hours away from his house. You started something, Z. Yeah, I'm not gonna let this go for a while. I don't care how many people on the internet think I'm overreacting to something that's obviously a joke. I know it's a joke. That helps a little bit. The thing is, he warned me that this was coming. He warned me. So that's why I'm not as mad as I usually would be if I just seen this randomly pop up on his channel. That doesn't make it any better. He ruined my truck on the internet. A war is coming, Z. Be ready for it. This is Mason. Out. Fuck you, Z.